Actually, before I even get into that, I just want to say how lovely it is to see the bottom halves of everyone's faces. What I really wanted to say, actually, in all seriousness, is thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It really, truly means the world to me. To me, by being here, especially if you commuted from London, even if you have now secretly just revealed that you had other reasons to be in town. By being here, what you're saying is that you trust me, not to disappoint, not to waste your time. And that especially means so much because you don't know everything there is to know about me with this crazy career quest that I've been on for the last 9 years, this business exactly that it's led me to build, and exactly how I'm going to propose that you get involved in the near future. And that really is the objective for bringing you here, inviting you here, is to, yes, eat sausage, drink beer, and have a good time. It's always top priority. But it's also to fill in those information gaps. Since we're bonding and evaluating our friendship into the future, I thought a little get-to-know-you icebreaker was in order. I'm sure we've all heard of the game Two Truths and a Lie. I'm getting a mixed response here. No one wants to admit it. No one wants to play. So in this version of this game, that's usually played in what was called house parties back in the early 2000s, you're having a heart-to-heart, sharing your deepest, darkest, or just weirdest life experiences. In this version, I'm going to give you 3 odd jobs that I have had in my earlier years. And it's your job to determine which one of those odd jobs is in fact the lie. Cranberry Resort telemarketer, nail polish factory line worker, Hooters girl.
I'm gonna go with the nail line, yeah.
That's a popular one. People are like, there's no way you would do nail polish factory.
I just don't know if there are any like
Yeah,
nearby.
yeah. Don't robots just do that?
Yeah.
That's
Not
totally
even a real
right.
job anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't know what a cranberry is.
I'd say Hooters.
I'd say
Thanks, guys.
the nails.
I think it's the nails as well.
So I know I just told you how much it means to me that you're here, but I've already betrayed your trust because I did all 3 of those. And many other weird ones where that came from. But I'm sure that I'm not the only one in the room who's had an odd job or two, especially those early working years, dipping your toe in the workforce. I'm wondering if anyone would be willing to share one of their weirder jobs. Yes?
I used to work as a magician and sometimes a balloon clown.
Excellent. And why aren't you still doing that?
COVID.
Oh, so it wasn't a career choice, it was just
It was just COVID.
public health. Okay. He said that he was a magician and sometimes balloon clown. And I was like,
You'll work your way up.
well, why would you?
Work that way up.
Yeah, show you really truly understand the craft and then we'll move you up through. Very cool. Mika, you want to read it?
Yeah, I used to be a telemarketer selling green card application services to people outside of the U.S. trying to apply for their green card.
Okay.
Cruise ship dancer.
Woo!
I just make a part.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to see evidence of that
And by dancer.
Yeah.
later. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I used to work in a chain making factory, cutting chain links and then welding them back together again. Yeah, it really didn't make any sense. So 2 lines that I was working, it was a rotating shift and
Just never
yeah, the
really
union guys
changed.
used to watch me just do all their work. But it was a summer gig that I never went through.
No, yeah, of course.
I was an orderly at a psych ward, which I don't say was an odd job, but it was an interesting job for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was that?
I did it almost as a challenge. I was working for a swing stage company in Ottawa that would lay us off in the wintertime. My wife was a nurse, and I was like, I don't know how you do what you do every day, like applaud to you. And she's like, you should try it. You should see what it's like working in healthcare. And I was like, wow. So I almost did it as a challenge. And it was probably one of my most rewarding jobs, but at some days it was like, it was a very,
Disorderly?
it was an interesting job, let's just say.
Sounds like an interesting job. I'm sure we'll get some stories out of you.
Yeah, no, I know you those for sure.
Young offenders facility.
Interesting. As a worker? Okay, just making sure that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I work here. I didn't offend anybody. Ladies, any?
I didn't have a weird job, but I was put into this role. I spent a lot of time in New York, and my cousin, she was working on Fordham Road. It's a sketchy area, and she's like, "Hey, you're gonna come to work in the morning today," and I was like 15. She goes, "You're gonna sit at the top of that ladder and watch the thieves." I'm like, "You're not putting me in that role." I caught a few people. I was like, "Whoa, don't follow me after that." But I was just like, yeah. But then I would tell the security person.
Okay.
So I was just like hovering and watching, and then
I was gonna say, being at the top of a ladder, yelling, "They're stealing!" That seems like not a great opportunity.
No cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary.
No kidding. I'm glad you survived it.
Didn't do it again after that.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, that's it.
I would say even when I worked for like Heather, our neighbor, and so I cleaned those. I think they're called carboys. It's like those big glass containers that are used in like wine fermentation process. And just in this basement when I was, I think, in grade 9 and made $8 an hour and a bunch of toxic chemicals and
glass
and radio. But yeah, it was a funny job. So.
Gotta love that child labor.
Right?
Yeah, it was,
No, yeah. And
$80 a week. So good times.
what will I do with all of this money? Yeah.
Yeah, convenience store nearby that they benefited from that.
Yeah. Like 50% of it immediately on food.
It's hard to top that. When I first, I went to university in Australia and I was looking like part-time jobs on whatever sort of classified list there were. And so I lasted one day trying to sell rim polish at gas stations. So like literally going up to a car and saying, "Those rims look a little dirty." And that was the most awkward thing. I did sell one case, and I think I made like $20.
There you go. That's a step up from washing windshields.
It was close. It was really close.
So awkward. I've had someone come up and try and like sell me like a credit card. I'm like, I'm pumping gas here. Like, this is not the time. No weird jobs, eh? Just smooth sailing for these guys.
Straight down. I'd say it's not exactly legal or even really a job. I was snuck in to a Somersault concert when they had the park here
Oh yeah.
during the concert, and my buddy worked the ticket department for food and beverages. And you'd sneak me out the tickets to sell them back to the public.
Ooh, very
Yeah,
nice.
it's a nice tidy tax-free profit. I don't know what the statute of limitation is.
You and cows? Why did you not do that job?
Everyone else time?
Yeah.
And we actually agreed to come here before the other event.
Yeah, I know. I'm teasing. I want to reduce my guilt, I guess.
Oh no, I don't want you.
The milking thing, I want to say something. Oh, have we moved on from the conversation, or? Oh, I had to. Sorry?
There's a little bit of like, there's a napkin attached to it.
Oh yeah. I'll use it to like,
Okay.
yeah. Like it's like toilet paper. No, I want that there. But what a great guy. Thank you, Shaq, so much for hosting. Honestly, he just has my back at every step of the way.
It's a napkin.
Not yet, it's too much work. And these events we like to describe as a little bit of thinking and a little bit of drinking. And so,
I was gonna be really upset if the third one was in D.
I would never do that to you. I went through quite a few of these, and don't repeat that statement, but. You'd be surprised how many happy faces I drew that I was like, that's terrible. I'm like, I didn't know there was so hard to draw a happy face.
How is the napkin sticking to the board?
It's a magnet.
I was wondering that too.
It's a magnet. And someone asked that the last time too.
Just
It's like-
also practices magic.
It was like when someone has toilet paper on the bottom of their.
You're gonna look at it as
Yeah, exactly. How did I not notice that? Yeah, the tissue has been talk of the town today, I feel.
Stephanie, is it rude to eat when you talk?
No, absolutely not. Get in there. Absolutely not.
Okay, sure.
In fact, you could even eat with your fingers if you so felt.
That's twice you've mentioned.
I know. I know, because I would definitely be in there with my fingers. Oh, thank God. What was the whole George Costanza bit with the Snickers bar and he's got the fork and knife? Is that him trying to be fancy? What was the whole premise of that?
Eating dessert with a fork and knife.
Because it makes him distinguished or something?
Yeah.
I did this in Toronto. This board came with a magnet. So not only was it only $10, it came with a magnet. And I thought, oh, perfect. I'll use the magnet to attach like a tissue to the board, and I will use the tissue to erase the board. People were all about the tissue. They were like, how is it sticking to the board? What do you, like, and people thought it was like a mistake. They're like, oh, you've got a little something. It was like a toilet paper attached to my shoe or something. People kept telling me about this tissue paper. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get myself an eraser and avoid this whole tissue issue altogether. And yes, I did think about how long it would take me to erase the board and how awkward that is, but I couldn't really think of a solution other than making jokes about it. Now, you might be thinking, didn't like the government say that they were gonna fund women entrepreneurs? Aren't they gonna like offer all of these programs to lift women up in business, yada, 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 yada. And that's right, they did. I looked into those. But I am not a woman of color. I am not indigenous. I am not an immigrant. I am not a refugee. I do not speak French. I do not have a disability. I am not only not a single mother, I am not a mother at all. I am not specifically pursuing a career in STEM, food security, or sustainable energy. And you may be surprised to learn, as I was, that many of these grants actually stipulate that you must be a B2C business, which I am not either. They don't want me, I'm too old. That was the other thing. I'm not a youth anymore. I'm above the age of 30, and so I don't qualify for those either. Today was all about information, about telling you more about me, about the business, this ambassador program that I'm building. This is it for me. I am completely resolute on this career path because this isn't just my business. This is my art. And so I am going to continue down this path, whether there are 24 ambassadors or 0. It would just be a whole lot more productive and pleasurable if I had a community of cool Canadian collaborators to come along with me. Thank you so much for listening and coming today. That's it.